Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is basically gonna be my pilot, my first episode. And I wanted to come to you guys with a story time because I feel like story times are so popping right now. And I have some stories to tell y'all that one, y'all wouldn't believe, and two, like, I think they're really interesting. But my first story time is gonna be about the time I was talking to this guy. So I was talking to this guy, and basically his ex tried to come for me. When I say come, I mean like pull up, like come for me. What was going through this girl's head? So it's my sophomore year. I believe it was my first semester of my sophomore year in college. And I was just open to the world. I had just cut off my hair and went natural, so I had my fro out, had my little maxi skirts, my little Badu vibe. So I'm just open, thinking that I'm not open, but I was open because now that I look back, I was so freaking dumb. So anyway, I had met this girl, whatever. I had met her like way before, and we were starting a dance crew because we both dance. We're walking around campus and we're just, talking to people and trying to tell them about our dance crew. So she's seen one of her friends, and all right, I can't say any names, so I'm gonna have to name the guy Daquan. So she's seen one of her friends, and Daquan was with her friend. So we walk up to her friend and she's like, yeah, we're having a dance team. We're starting a dance team. We need y'all support. Yada, yada, yada. So they start talking. And of course, he's like, what did he try? He kept trying to ask me for my number. Like, he kept saying, like, oh, she's like really pretty. Oh, can I get your number? I was like, first of all, you know me. I was so like, that is not how you approach a woman. Basically, what I got into was about being a queen. That's what sparked everything. So we started talking about like being a queen, and he basically said that all women aren't queens. So you know me, I'm natural. I just cut off my hair. I got my Erykah Badu playing in one ear, and I'm talking to him in the next. So I'm like, first of all, no, like all women are queens. So basically we argued a little, like, a kind debate about all women being queens, and he just had like a whole different like perspective on the subject. So I ended up giving him my number. So freaking dumb. So I gave him my number, and he said that he wants to talk more about the topic. So he said, you know what, why don't you meet me at such and such hall so we could talk about it more. So I'm like, oh yeah, sure. So I go to the hall. I meet him at the hall or whatever. It turns out we had the same common period, which was like a grace period between classes. Our grace period was 3 hours. So we had the same grace period. So we met up at the place, and I walk in with the shits. Like, I'm like, listen, I'm here to talk about.
Why don't you think that all women are queens? Like, are you dumb? Like, do you not see me? Like, I think a lot of women could be like me. Like,
but anyway, so we were talking about it, and conversation got cool. We started talking about other things, and I'm liking him. Like, he was cool, but at the same time, I was not with being in a relationship. Like, I had my main guy that I was talking to. I was just like, listen, this is really not gonna get any closer than this. So the conversation was the conversation, and that was pretty much it. But he stayed consistent. So he kept asking me to come to that space, and of course I would come. It was my grace period. He would come there, whatever. He would meet me, and he was like OD consistent. So it was like every time, I think it was Mondays and Wednesdays, we would meet at that place. So of course we started getting closer. I'm just gonna try to make a long story short. So we started getting closer, and we would talk, but I would not let him touch me. He could not touch me. He could not kiss me. And he could not take me on dates. He kept trying to ask me on dates like, oh, I want to take you to the city. One, that is so sus. Like,
are you trying to take me all the way to the city? Like, I'm not trying to get chopped up and put in somebody's Hudson River.
Like, he just moved a little sus to me. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to the city with you. Like, are you dumb? So, for that whole semester, he just kept trying. I was just like, like, no. He kept saying that he wanted to kiss me. I don't know. He had this like infatuation. I don't know. He said he like really liked my lips. Like, he really wanted to kiss me. And he would like beg me. It would be like every day that I just see. And I'm just like, no. So it was this one time that, I don't know, like, we were having a really good conversation. We would talk about family, life, a lot of things. So it was a good day. It was a good night that night. And he kept saying he wanted to kiss me. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it. And I let him kiss me. But the thing is that I let him kiss me and I didn't kiss him back, if that makes sense. This man was talking about he's seen fireworks and all the sparks fly after that. And I'm just like, no, I didn't feel anything, boo-boo. Like, you really have a problem. And from there, like, we just started getting closer and closer. But it was more like closer like friends, because it was like I was kind of forcing him to be my friend. I believe I did let him take me out on a date. Yeah, I actually let him take me to the city, and we went to Negro. It was really nice. He was such a gentleman. Like, he opened my door, closed my door. We went to dinner, we ate, he paid. We walked around the city for a little bit. He took me home at a decent time. So I'm like, okay, maybe this could work. Like, now we're back at school and we're still talking, still consistently meeting at that spot. And maybe I was like starting to give him a little leeway now. So like now I'm starting to like sit on his lap when I see him, things like that. But at the same time, he still really couldn't kiss me, he couldn't touch me. And that date was like, all right, you did your thing. But so it was this one time where he came to me and, oh, rewind really quick. There used to be this girl that would FaceTime him on his MacBook. And every time she would FaceTime him, he would be with me. So I guess she was like aggy about it. I'm not sure. I didn't know who she was. He told me he didn't have a girlfriend, obviously, the way he was on me. So she would just be upset. Like, she would be so mad. Like, he would turn the camera to me like, oh yeah, I'm with Khadijah, like, you know, my friend, my homegirl. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's good, girl? You already know. Oh, you pretty, whatever. She would be like, I'm like, oh, so that's how you want to start things. So whatever. Later on down the line, this is after he already took me on a date. This is after we already done had, like, we're still consistently meeting each other. He comes to me and he tells me that there's this girl that he likes and they only see each other, like, you know, on some weekends. They would like collectively go out as like a group, like it would be a group of them, and that's the only time he sees her, like with all her friends and like all his friends. Everybody's saying that she's going hard for me. She keeps saying that she likes me, and you know, she's like, she posts me and she goes like really hard for me, and she like keeps telling everybody that she wants to be with me and things like that. While he was saying it, like, had you been there, while he was saying it, you would hear the comparison in the voice. Like, he was trying to say basically like, oh, she's going really hard for me, like she's showing me way more attention than you are, like she's going hard. So I'm like, okay. And he asked me like, oh, do you think like I should be with her? Like, do you think I should try being with her? I was just like, if she's going hard for you, then yeah, like, give it a try. If you want to be with her, then go ahead. So he took my advice, obviously, but he didn't say, you know what, I'm gonna take your advice. He just acted shady. He stopped texting me. He really wouldn't call me. He stopped meeting up at the place, really. At the same time, like, the semester was ending, so he did not talk to me the whole summer. like literally the whole summer. Like, so I'm just like, damn, I lost a friend. I like when people say loyal in my life. So if you become disloyal, I basically just want to cut you off from there. So that's what I did to him. Like, don't talk to me. Don't try to talk to me. Like, no. School comes back around. Fall. Junior year. Glowed up. Hair grew. Twist outs on fleek. Eyebrows on fleek. I was into makeup really. Like, I was just starting to really get into makeup. So, like, my makeup would be done. My little eyelashes. You know, I had my little cute little outfits and stuff. I had my vehicle, okay? So, I basically just, like, I glowed up over the summer. And he sees me on campus. And he dead tried to talk to me. What are you doing? He would be like, oh, hi. Like, oh, he would be with his friends. He'd be like, oh, hi, Kitty. I just would be like, I would dead keep it pushing. I ignored him almost the whole semester. Starting to get into the spring. You know, the beginning of the spring is really like winter. So it was like really bad outside. It was snowing and it was intercession. I was having a fashion show. Daquan calls me. And mind you, we haven't talked. I've been dubbing him the whole semester. So he calls me and he's like, yeah, I'm in Connecticut and yeah, you know, I miss you. And I'm just like, right. Why are you calling me again? When he called me, I was packing my bag. And he actually had a good conversation. He didn't really just call me on. I mean, he did say like, oh, I miss you, whatever. But he actually had a good conversation. So we were really talking again, like just like old times kind of. So I was telling him, you know, I'm having a fashion show. I kind of need someone to like be there for me. Like, you know, hold my bags, make sure I get my makeup done. Like, make sure I'm sane like throughout the whole show. So he was like, oh, like, I'm going to come and help you. And I was just like, all right. So dumb. But he came, and he came all the way from Connecticut. He was supposed to get his car fixed, do all this other stuff, but he came for me. And he picked me up. He was being the perfect gentleman. He carried all my bags, my makeup, opened the door, closed the door. Like, I literally did not have to lift a finger that whole day. Like, basically, after that, he said, you know, I still want to take you out on a date. I want to take you out, whatever. I'm just like, all right. He took me out that night. We had to go to a diner because it was really late when the show ended. But it was snowing really bad. He did not care. He got some gas. He took me to the diner and then he took me back home. And it was so cute. Like, he carried me from my door because, like, the snow, I had on heels and, like, the snow was, like, above, like, my heels. Like, and he just like picked me up and carried me to my door, carried all my stuff inside. Like, he was being a perfect gentleman. So I'm like, okay, look at you. Like, okay, treating me like a queen, the queen that I am. So time passes and we just continue to talk. We're back in school and I was giving him a little time of the day. And basically, we were, like, dating now. He had got a new car. He kept telling me he was getting, like, a new car. So he got his new car. And literally, I think we had a different schedule. So it wasn't Mondays and Wednesdays. It was Tuesdays and Thursdays now. And, like, every Tuesday and Thursday, he literally would take me out on a date after class. Every Tuesday and Thursday, sis. Dates. So I was having fun. He was taking me out on dates. And he, like, was getting a little closer with my mom. He would come over. He was starting to like grow his hair, so I would do his hair, whatever. We were getting closer and we were dating now, basically. So we were just getting a lot closer. Like, I was actually kissing him, kind of holding his hand, kind of thing. So actually, I'm really starting to like this dude, like, for real. Like, I'm starting to get spoiled. He was like kind of spoiling me. I was getting so used to it and it was just everything, like, at the time. And mind you, the main guy that I was talking to, he had died. So I went through this whole thing. He died. He was there for me when he died. My best friend had died. Rest in peace, TYG 4L. she died, so he was there for me during that time too. So now I'm like really liking this guy. Like, listen, he's here for me all the time, and like whatever. Mind you, now when my best friend died, this is when everything like really went down. So I was teaching runway walking to girls at a middle school. I was doing my thing, and I'm looking on my Instagram. I had a little downtime, and I'm looking on my Instagram, and I see this girl, and she's commenting on all my pictures. Long paragraphs. She was like, oh, you're effing ugly. You're one of those girls who don't care if somebody has a man. You're such a side chick. You one of those girls that don't care. Oh, stop talking to my man, blah, blah, blah. She was just saying a bunch of like BS. And I was like, what the hell is this girl talking? Who is she talking about? She ends up like in my inbox, and she was like, yeah, Daquan, da 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 da, that's my boyfriend. You must didn't know he had a girlfriend. You're a side chick. You're one of those girls who don't care if he has a man. Oh, when I see you, I'm gonna pull up on you. I want my head up. She wanted so much from me. I was like, listen, sis, Daquan took a very long time to get in this spot. So who are you? Once she said that she was Daquan's girlfriend, I screenshotted and sent it to Daquan and was like, Daquan, get your girlfriend. Because at the time, we still weren't in a relationship. So it's not like we were like really, you know, like this. I was just like, Daquan, get your girlfriend. Whatever you got to do, you need to handle that because I don't have the time. So I don't know what he did. But the next day, he said he handled it. But the next day, she still felt comfortable enough to be in my inbox. I'm like, girl, you sound miserable. Like, what are you doing? Obviously, your man has no time for you, and that's why you on my line. Because if he had time for you, you'd be talking to Daquan right now. But Daquan's up my ass. I hit up my friends. I was like, do y'all see this girl? And she was like, you're ugly. Just like, girl, you need to get your life. Like, she was like, oh, you think because you're a model that's gas in your head? I'm like, glad you noticed. Like, I just hit Daquan and was like, Daquan, obviously you didn't handle this. She was talking about she was gonna come on campus, she was gonna beat my ass, she was gonna like, she was saying a bunch of like, she was just really going in. So I go to Daquan like, listen, I don't fight. I will dead get her. Like, oh, she will not be able to touch me. So he's like, I'm going to handle it. Okay, Daquan, I'm going to trust you. Yet she still felt comfortable. So now at this point, I want to know what Daquan was saying to her. So I'm like, Daquan, what did you say to her? He was like, yeah, you know, I told her, like, don't be hanging you up. Oh, really?
Did you also tell her that you was on me for a couple years now? Did you also tell her that you be with me all the time? How is she your girlfriend?
He was like, listen, it's my ex. And Bob, so basically it was the girl that was on the FaceTime. Basically it was the girl that he was saying, oh, should I give her a try? Sis, I put you in your place. I'm the one that told him he can run along and be with you. So you better be lucky, like, for real. So she was just crazy. So I was like, what did you say to her though? Like, he was like, I was telling her, you know, not to hit you up. Like, basically that's my ex, and she told me that she made up this BS lie talking about, oh, her brother had something happen with her brother and he had to go get them. So he goes and gets them or whatever. And he was like, yeah, when she came in the car, she had like this little skirt and no underwear on and yada, yada, yada. Me, I know Daquan. Like, I made him be my friend first. So I'm just like, okay. He's like, oh, so like I told her not to hit you up. Oh, really? Did you? Because she's not listening. Boo, she's not listening. So what did you really say? And I'm like, let me see your phone. Like, at this point, I'm tight. Like, I'm already going through everything. I'm like, let me see your phone, because obviously you didn't tell her enough. So he like, oh, like, he would never let me see his phone. That's another like red flag that I should have been seen. So he would never let me see his phone. He like, no, like, you don't gotta see my phone, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm gonna show you the messages. I'm gonna show you the messages. He shows me the messages, and he's like, this, act like this is a phone. He was like,
yeah, so like, this is what I was telling her, like, you know, and like,
I'm like, give me your phone. Like, what is wrong with you? So I'm scrolling up. He was like, oh, if you still want to mess with me, it gotta be no strings attached, and you can't be hitting her up. I don't come second, all right? I don't come second. I do not come second. So you need to choose between me or her. Oh, I'm not gonna choose between you and her, because me and her been through a lot, and I would never leave her astray. Okay, so bye. I don't come second. I don't care if we were or were not in a relationship. I do not come second to no female that's gonna be in my inbox talking like, had she stayed in her place, maybe you still would have had a place. But then she wants to get out of character talking about she's gonna pull up on me. Turns out shorty didn't even have a vehicle. He was like, how she's gonna pull up on you? She doesn't even drive. Exactly. So let me know, was you gonna take her? Because both of y'all could get a double date. So she never pulled up. So, but it was just so crazy how she really came for me and how he really took her side. This is why, honestly, ladies, if y'all see red flags, if he does not let you see his phone, I know it's petty, but if he's like real, like, he would dead be like, I would be like, oh, let me see your phone. Like, he'll be like, oh, nah, like, nah, you can't. I'm like, like, excuse me? He wanted to do things on his own time, and my dumb self was falling for it. At the same time, he was still talking to her, and she felt so comfortable to still be in my inbox. He's like, I'm not gonna leave her astray because we've been through so much. Well, if y'all want to go through some more, y'all can leave me out of it. He still kept trying to talk to me. Long story short, long story ending, he still kept trying to talk to me. He still tries to talk to me till this day. I had gave him another chance like a freaking idiot because I was going through a breakup, but he, oh, like, no. And listen, he's trying to talk to me now, actually. So I might have to come back to y'all with another story time. But that's the time that somebody's ex really tried me, and she really tried to pull up, and I was so ready. Like, my best friend had just died. I didn't care about anything at the time, so I had to really block Daquan, and Daquan could not come back into my life until like I had this whole uproaring. Like, it was just crazy. But that's gonna be another story time. And yeah, but thank you guys for listening. If you listen to this whole story time, if you want me to come to you with another story time, let me know. This is the first episode of my new coming channel. I got my backdrop, I got my light. So just let me know if y'all want to hear another story time. There's a bunch of story times I could do, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.